The war on Zenthros Prime had ended 7 years ago, but the memories still clawed at Captain Jared Cole's sleep like fire ants under his skin. He had been just 27 then, a young human soldier deployed to the volatile world torn by rebellion and alien oppression. The mission was supposed to be a simple evac op. Instead, it turned into a full-scale firefight. That was where he had found her, half buried under a collapsed transport carrier, one arm pinned, the other shielding a young Zenthari child. She was bleeding, her silver skin dull with pain and exhaustion. Most humans were taught to fear the Zenthari, tall, lithe humanoids with faint bioluminescence and venomous claws. But that day, Jared didn't see a threat. He saw someone in need. And against orders. He dragged her and the child out of the rubble and carried them to the evac ship. Her name was Valina. And after that mission, he never saw her again. Until today. The knock on Jared's cabin door on Mars Outpost 9 came just past midnight. He had been drinking warm coffee, lost in faded war logs. He wasn't expecting visitors. Not on a remote maintenance rotation post meant for solitude and forgetting. He opened the door. And there she was. Valina. She hadn't aged a day. Her glimmering skin caught the hallway light, and her violet eyes locked on his like no time had passed at all. Her voice was a whisper of silk and thunder. "I've come to return a debt, Jared Cole." Middle. Jared blinked. "Valina." She stepped inside before he could react. Behind her, a massive vessel hovered silently in the landing bay, a craft unlike anything in human registry. Smooth, angular, and alive with pulses of energy. I haven't seen you in years," Jared said, motioning to a chair. How did you find me?" "I never lost you," she said softly. "After you saved my life, I marked your genetic trace. I hope to never need it, but fate speaks strangely. You remembered me all this time." "I am Zenthari," she said, sitting gracefully. "We remember every soul who touches our lives. You didn't just save me. You saved my sister's child. Without you, our family would have perished. That day, you earned a blood bond of honor." Jared scratched his head, still trying to believe this wasn't some hallucination brought on by stale coffee and too much loneliness. "All right, so what's this about a reward?" She stood and tapped a small brooch on her chest. It opened into a shimmering holographic field. "This is the Talrine Prism, a gateway to a vault of ancient Zenthari relics, some beyond your science, some worth more than entire planetary systems. It has been in my family for generations. I now pass it to you." Jared blinked at the small, crystalline object she extended toward him. It looked like a miniature galaxy trapped in amber. "I don't even know what to say." "Say you'll come with me," she said. "What?" Valina took a step closer, her scent like something warm and wild, like starlight on metal. "This reward is not just treasure. I wish to show you something. Sanctuary. A world hidden even from my kind. And, if your heart permits it, I wish to offer something else." He looked into her eyes. "What?" "My bond. My life. I have no clan anymore. My people consider me debt-tied to you. If I choose to, I can make it eternal." Jared felt the floor sway under him, not from gravity, but from the weight of her words. The next day, Jared left a message with Outpost Command saying he was taking personal leave under emergency diplomatic protocol. Within hours, he was aboard her ship, the Virelian Sci, and watching Mars shrink behind him. The vessel was unlike any human design. Sang. Not in sound but in feeling. Every wall, every corridor responded to their presence. Valina explained the ship was partially alive, crafted from bonded crystal and dark matter silk. They traveled through unmarked jump gates, through storms of folded space and null zones until finally they arrived. The planet had no name, only a harmonic frequency. To Jared's eyes, it was a paradise. Lush blue forests stretched for miles under twin suns. Waterfalls of liquid light cascaded down mountains that pulsed with bioluminescence. Alien beasts roamed free, yet none were hostile. "It's beautiful," he said, stepping out of the ship. "This world is sacred," Valina said. "Only 3 of my kind know its existence. I bring you here not just for gratitude, but because I want to build something with you." "Build what?" She turned toward him, removing the gloves from her fingers, each tipped with a faint glass-like claw. "A future." Climax. Over the next week, Jared lived what felt like a dream. They swam in light pools that healed scars. They hiked crystalline ridges and watched sky whales pass overhead. And at night, they sat under the glowing canopy of the trees, sharing stories. He told her about Earth's wars, his regrets, the loneliness that never left him. She told him of her people's fall, the betrayal of nobles, and how her own family had vanished into silence after the war. "I searched for purpose," she said one night, resting against him. "And I realized I left it behind on that battlefield with you." Jared looked down at her silver blue skin, how her glow pulsed with the rhythm of her heartbeat. "You don't have to give me your life to repay me," he whispered. "I'm not repaying a debt," she said. "I'm choosing a path. With you." The next morning, she took him to an altar hidden deep in the forest. There, surrounded by singing stones, she offered him a thin band of woven energy and crystal, an ancient Zenthari binding ring. "It's not marriage in your culture," she explained. "But in mine it means soul trust. I give you my freedom, and you give me yours." Jared stared at it, his mind roaring with emotion. "I'm just a soldier," he muttered. "Not a king, not a hero." She cupped his face. "You were my hero. That's all that matters." He took the ring and slipped it on. Ending. The return to human space was complicated. Command didn't know what to do when Jared returned with a living alien heirloom ship, and a Zenthari companion bonded to him by one of their most sacred traditions. But politics always found a way to spin things. They labeled it a diplomatic miracle, a symbol of healing between 2 post-war civilizations. Jared was quietly promoted and given ambassadorial status. He didn't care for the politics, but it gave him and Valina space to breathe. She now lived with him in a floating station over Europa, and their story became the quiet whisper of legend among soldiers. Sometimes on clear nights they sat together and watched the stars. "You know," Jared said once, "you didn't have to bring me anything. Just knowing you were alive, that would have been enough." Valina leaned on his shoulder, her fingers intertwining with his. "I brought you more than a reward," she whispered. "I brought you home." And for the first time in years, Jared Cole believed he had finally found it.